What's up, you guys? Steven with Magic Metal Money back again. Modern Horizons 2, it's already upon us, believe it or not. Yeah, Time Spiral Remastered just barely finished preview season and it hasn't even released yet. That's alright, we're moving on to the next hype train. Modern Horizons 2 coming out in June. We got a lot to cover. We're going to talk about pre-release, the different products. We're going to talk about the fetch land, so stay tuned. Let's dive in. The biggest announcement that came out today is that Modern Horizons 2 will not just have draft boosters like we're used to seeing with Modern Horizons 1, Modern Masters series, the big summer expensive expansions, conspiracies, all those. This is going to be different. We're not just going to have draft booster boxes, we're also going to have set booster boxes and collector booster boxes. Big changes. Also, what we're excited about, pre-release packs. Draft and set booster boxes, not a whole lot to say there. We're used to seeing those products. Pre-release though, this is exciting. Pre-release of Modern Horizons 2, that sounds like a lot of fun. We've never had a pre-release of a non-standard product before. And so there's going to be, just like we're used to doing, where you can open 6 packs in your little pre-release kit. Yes, there will be foil stamped promo cards in your pre-release kit. That's pretty exciting that these new high-end fancy cards, you can now have release stamp dates. Pretty cool. Now the pre-release will be a full week, which is interesting, and then the release day is June 11th, my birthday. Shout out, what up? It's gonna be a party. Traditionally, pre-releases, of course, have been in store, and they're a big fun event. Some people do midnight releases if you don't like to sleep. I could never do those, but I always went in on Saturday morning, and pre-releases are a lot of fun. It's a fun way to get it together with the community, learn the new cards, have a casual environment, teach new people the game. It's awesome. Pre-releases are a great part of the game. Obviously, in-play store, in-store play, not really an option for most people, but this is going to be in June. This is another 3 months out, and there have been a lot of developments in different parts of the world. Some parts of the world you might say, hey, June, nothing's going to change between now and then, if you're in a hot spot. But some more rural areas or some areas where vaccines are really coming out and popping out and everything, there could be some in-store play, which is exciting, right? We all want to get together and play again in person. But of course, they're also launching different ways to do it on tabletop. But the ways to cheat when it comes to limited and sealed pools are just far too high. So they're saying, hey, yeah, you can do it video tabletop from your own house and you hop in online, you can stream and film yourself opening your cards and all that stuff. But it's not going to have any prize structure or prize support, because even in casual rule enforcement setting, when you include prizes, sometimes at a pre-release, first place could be like $50 worth of prizes. That's pretty sweet, sometimes even more. So with all that, stakes are just too high. It makes sense. You just say, hey, we're all going to have fun. If you want to cheat when there's literally nothing on the line, no prizes, no anything, yeah, I guess you still can. But I think it makes sense to do no prize support for the at-home play. But for those who want the in-store environment, it's possible. Now, I don't know how that works with WPN and if you get punished for having official versus non-official. I'm not sure all the details on that. All I know is that pre-release is going to be fun, and think, you can get a foil stamped new card, right? Whether that's a reprint with like an enemy fetch land, or if it's, a brand new card of whatever the new Hogak is. Hopefully it's not Hogak level and going to get banned immediately, but whatever the new cards are that we've never seen before that are made at a higher power level to go straight into Modern. That can be a pre-release card. That's exciting. Modern Horizons 2 is also featuring collector boosters and collector booster displays, which I assume is going to mean we'll definitely have some showcase variants. Now, will those showcase variants be available in the regular set as well? Probably, like regular set and draft boosters, I assume, just like it is with other standard sets, but this is a non-standard set, so we'll see. But the collector booster is obviously going to have the higher amount of foils, higher amount of rares and mythics per pack, and higher amount of showcases and everything. Say what you will about collector boosters, love or hate them, they sell well. And overall, people like them. Whether, regardless of what you read online and people hating on them, people like them. People like styling out their decks. And personally, I'm a big fan of having ways to personalize and style out your decks and having art variants as well as the showcase frame variants. I think that's really cool for a couple of reasons. I think just, again, art variants are really fun. That's a natural part of Magic anyway, as cards have been reprinted over the years with different arts, going back to all the way to alpha cards, right, with like Llanowar Elves. I mean, how many different arts have we seen for Llanowar Elves, or things like Giant Growth, things like that. But also, just the idea of having a showcase frame that's unique to that set is really fun. Like, I love that the Kaldheim showcase frames have a unique Norse feeling frame that's unique to that set and that plane and that release. It's cool. I think that's fun. I think that's good for the game. It makes the cards more enjoyable to open. It's a more fun experience overall. And at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot of money involved, but it is a card game and it is fun. And I think collector variants and showcase frames are fun. Now to the enemy fetch lands, the part we're all excited about. Will there be other reprints in Modern Horizons 2 that are already modern legal? I'm not sure, right? Because Modern Horizons 1, remember, the only reprints that happened were cards that weren't yet modern legal, right? They were in pre-modern sets, and then it was new cards that had never been printed before. Seasoned Pyromancer, you know, those types of cards, Urza, etc. Now with Modern Horizons 2, we know there's enemy fetch lands, which are already modern legal and reprints. I'm not sure if those are the unique example or if there will be other enemies, or excuse me, other reprints of cards that are already modern legal. But specifically with the fetch lands, that's what we're going to talk about. The enemy fetch lands we already know are going to be in Modern Horizons 2. Now, will they only be in collector boosters? Maybe, but I doubt that because this is already going to be a premium product. You know, it's not going to be an $80 booster box, $100 booster box. It's going to be double that. So I doubt that it's going to be only in collectors. I bet they will do they'll be in regular booster packs for this set. But the question is, are they going to have a showcase frame? So, and are we going to have new art? If you're keeping track, your enemy fetch lands have been printed 5 times with 4 different types of art, right? 4 different art options. And we could all of a sudden jump that to 6, and potentially, because if we have new art for the enemy fetch lands that are being printed, and then we also have showcase variants, then there's now 2 more different variants and different art options. So this is crazy. I think this is too much because if we get all the way up to 6, 4 of those came out within 12 months of each other, right? So stick with me here, okay? We had the original release of the enemy fetch lands back in Zendikar in 2009. Then in 2015, 6 years later, we had Battle for Zendikar expeditions that came out, only rare, expeditions. They were not super common. And then Modern Masters 2017 is where we finally got a real reprint of the enemy fetch lands. Of course, this was not in a standard set, but this did come out and it was the same original art. So over the course of 8 years, we only had 3 printings. 1 was in standard set, 1 was a Modern Masters set with the same original art, and then we had the really rare and hard to find expeditions. Fast forward a couple of years, all of a sudden Secret Lair Summer 2020 comes out, new art, and you could just get these. I know it was through WPN only, it wasn't like a normal Secret Lair, but still. And then 3 months later, in the fall, you had Zendikar Rising expeditions that had the fetch lands, enemy fetch lands that were relatively easier to find compared to the original BFZ expeditions. We're going to have Modern Horizons 2, which could have 1, potentially 2 new art options. That's too many too fast. I will say that. Let's slow down a little bit. I'm all about having variants and different options, but that's too much too soon. I mean, 4 different options potentially within 12 months. That's too much. I love the variety and the options, but let's just slow down a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like and subscribe. You're definitely going to want to check it out. My next video coming out in a couple days. It's going to be a wish list of Modern Horizon 2 cards, reprints that we're hoping to happen, cards that aren't yet legal in Modern that we've seen in the past. It's going to be a fun one. There's going to be some serious wish lists, some crazy ones, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so tune in a couple days. Thanks.